Sometimes I shy away from giving extra credit for things like that because I want you to do it for this. I want you to help the world because you want to change the world, not because you want extra credit to change your grade. And welcome back to the Angry Teacher channel. I'm Richard Williams, the Angry Teacher, and here at the Angry Teacher, all we talk about is education. The ups, the downs. It's for teachers, students, administrators, parents, everyone, coaches, everyone who has everyone who has a purpose in education. I try to reach everyone, and this is just some light research is done, but a lot of stuff comes from the discussions or the ideas I have. Anything that I teach or do in my classroom, the discussions we have, the things I share is coming from my classroom to yours. So we're just trying to educate each other and trying to get through this whole thing called the education system. With that said, if it's your first time here, welcome. I want you to be part of the community. I want you to be part of the family. So hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you can be updated on the next dope Angry Teacher video. With that said, if you've been here before, thanks for coming back. You know I love y'all. Thanks for being a part of the family. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the subscribes. Thanks for the notification responses to all the videos that come out. Thanks for everything, because I'm very grateful that you are here. With that said, let's get into the video. Number one, put it in class assignments. Let it be a part of their assignment for them to start developing ideas about changing the world, or changing themselves to change the world, or just changing themselves. If we change ourselves, we'll change the world regardless. So have them read passages or documents about the environment, about different laws that need to be changed, or different laws that they didn't know about. Have them read, and if it's literature, have them read works that they can see themselves shine through, or they can see how they should be treated, or see how they should treat others. Have them reflect a lot. Have them write reflections on what they've read, or what they've experienced, or what they've watched. Have them think about their feelings about certain things. Sometimes, and you know, some of these things you might have to clear with parents, because some parents get kind of touchy, or administration gets touchy. But I think kids need to know that in particular classrooms, or in their classrooms, they can have a voice. At home, they might not be able to talk about the fact that they hate going to church every day or every Sunday. They don't want to be religious, because, and a lot of kids aren't religious anymore because their parents forced them when they were younger, but they can't say that when they're in the house. So if they just write it out, they get to know that you can write your feelings out and get that out. So later on, you can be they can be that change agent for kids who are forced to do things. Maybe even if they do stay in the church when they get older, they can tell like the youth of their church, hang in there. They mean well, and blah blah blah. Whatever the situation is, or however they explain it, as long as they have a voice in your class, so they know that they can always get it out. Okay, because in their household they might not be able to. Let them read and reflect on the environment. Around my house, you know, it's a mess. Nobody cares. Nobody does anything. Let them share that in a writing. Let them share that in discussions. All right, so kind of put it in the class assignments. Social media, number two. I've had my kids, they have a Facebook assignment weekly. So, you know, it's a Facebook group, and the kids have to upload their responses to certain prompts that I would give them. And this is specifically, and you know, we have other ways that we can do it so that, you know, they can still do that online version of a class. But I choose social media because I want people to see that my kids from my neighborhood where I teach, these kids know something. They can write, they think. That I want them to see that my kids are not the stereotype that you see on TV. So I'm using them for change, to change how the perceptions that people have of the inner city, or the perceptions people have of inner city children. I also have assignments where the kids have to prove to me that they've joined a civic organization, joined a social organization, joined a political organization. And sometimes I stay away from the politics. I leave that for the government teachers a lot. But I have them join groups that, and it doesn't, I don't force them. I don't tell them which one it is. I give them choices. If you like animals, join one of those organizations. If you like politics, join one of those organizations. If you like clean air, whatever it is that you are into, join it. I want you to be a part of another community, not just people on your age, or not just people that just mouthing off, but I want you to be a part of an organized organization so that you can see how the world works and you can start being a part of that change agent. In our district, and I've said this before, our district, we give community service hours. That's a requirement for graduation. And so I want these kids to be a part of an organization that can help them get those hours, and they feel that they've accomplished something. You're giving to the poor, you're giving to the needy, you're helping out at Camila's house, you're folding clothes for the hurricane ravaged islands. You're doing things that will help you change as a person. And social media, infusing that into the classroom, into a different assignment, having them make it a page for it, having them make a website, having them form a group, Students Against Gun Violence, something that will have them be a part of their larger community. By all means, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for the next Angry Teacher video every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every weekend. You know it without a doubt. There will be an Angry Teacher video that you can educate and entertain yourself throughout these times. It's been hairy and all over the place and scary for adults, much less for students and kids. So, but I still let them, every now and then they watch the news or we read an article and we kind of break it down, and then we get into our, so discussions about the news, that's important, whether it be, and I tend to use they tend to watch it a lot more last year because things were different. This year they have to do a lot more reading of in articles, but when they watch it, it's easier to break down because it's shorter clips, and so we can kind of talk about, some kids would know a little bit more than others, and we have that discussion going. But if in the discussion they have to, a lot of times they have to do a lot by themselves, so they're annotating the article and they're breaking it down, and then I put them in groups and then they share out and talk about their different ideas. But it's usually limited to groups, so they're not hearing the voice of everyone in the class. But when we watch the videos, everyone kind of gets to put their 2 cents in. So after COVID, when we kind of get it under control and we get back to a different place, then I'll have us watch some more, and then the whole class, we can kind of talk about it. But with that said, we get into mindfulness. How do you feel right now? And sometimes as the Angry Teacher, and I'm always pounding and we're getting the work done, we're getting you ready for the next level. Sometimes I have to slow down and regroup and go back and think, how do you feel? How do you feel about what's going on? Do you feel safe going into certain neighborhoods to make that pizza delivery anymore? Do you understand that if you lose your job now, and you're the only breadwinner and you're only making like 25 hours a week, do you understand what's going to happen if you lose that job? There's some things like, are you scared? Are you happy right now? Things are going on at home. You can't learn from home, but you're forced to stay home because of COVID, and your mom doesn't want you in the building. What's happening with you? How do you feel? So make sure that comes in. But with that said, you're changing them because they're realizing that everyone is not screaming at them. The world is not hateful 100%. And they know what's going on in the world, and you can kind of give your 2 cents and kind of ease the pain a little bit, and every now and then have them check in, or every now and then you check in with them. All right, so we're creating change agents, knowing that there is an emotion that needs to be in our classes. There's an emotion that needs to be in our activities, and when you watch the news, you don't have to be nervous all the time. And there's one thing, I argue with some people a lot of times about how they say sometimes the news has too many, it's not real news, it's not fake. I'm just saying the real news part, because they don't give you the whole story, or they make you feel these feel-good stories. I think sometimes, every now and then, we need a feel-good story. It is a scary world out there, and sometimes we need to see that puppy who can dance on his hind legs. Sometimes we need to see that dolphin who does flips. Sometimes we need to see that lady who baked cakes for all the teachers of her of the 3rd grade of some local school. We need to see that there's a guy who his house, people were gonna they were gonna evict him from his house, and some firemen came and paid off the mortgage or something. There needs to be some feel good stories. And these kids need to know that everything is not going to be scary. Everything is not going to be hateful all the time. There's going to be some form of hope that will help them to be a change agent and cause hope for someone else. And lastly, number 4, community involvement. Away from the community service that you need, and away from the fact that if you're part of my organization, Epsilon, check down the link below. If you're part of Epsilon, I'm going to force you to become involved in the community. As change agents, you need to be, and I don't even have to use the term change agents. I don't need to have to say you need to change the world. But if something wrong happened in your community and you want to change that, be part of the community. Figure out what's going on. Figure out how you can get in. Even if you just go to the meetings and you listen about restorative justice, activism. If you're a part of it, you're paying attention to it, and you're, wait a minute, that happens in my neighborhood too. There's something that should start clicking because we've gone over the mindfulness, because we've gone over the different class activities and we've had discussions. You're going to start realizing that the world is what it is, and I have to step up and step in to kind of do something to make it better for me and my family coming up. You can do it online now. You have to do it online now for a lot of things. See if you can be a part of some organizations that can kind of direct you into changing the world where you live. You don't have to go to Washington to change everything. You don't have to, as a matter of fact, a lot of things that change your space in your community, in your world, happen in your community, in your world. But just make sure that there's community involvement. Make sure you might want to, some teachers give extra credit for donating to the different organizations. Like around Christmas time, we have these huge donations, and Thanksgiving, everyone wants to give at that point, and give the extra credit. Sometimes I shy away from giving extra credit for things like that because I want you to do it for this. I want you to help the world because you want to change the world, not because you want extra credit to change your grade. So with that said, community involvement, make sure if you're going on something, you can say, hey guys, I'm going to this discussion about clean drinking water in different countries. You guys want to come on? Let's make a thing out of it. Because when they get to college, some professors throw it in there. It's a part of your curriculum. We're trying to get you to change the world and be better people and different people. So let's all do it together. All right. So hopefully those 4 kind of give you ideas on how to infuse items into your lessons so that our kids can be change agents for the world later, because we're getting older and we're going to need them to be in a space where they want to do better for us and change the world for us, or change the world for them. We need them as they grow up. We need them to change the world. Thanks for coming to class today. As usual, I need you to go out there and be great. Hey, let's just go out there and teach.